Welcome, guys. Wednesday, freaking Wednesday. What a kind of nice day to be alive as a trader, right? Nice push from the resistance, as we've been talking from last Sunday. And yeah, it played out technically. It didn't reach fully the 77.7 ish area that I'm aiming for, but I'm still seeing kind of like a one more leg from the position that we are. Nothing lost yet. I'm not really in the short just because I've been busy for a couple days, actually a week already, with some side projects. Not really trading much. Still having my longs open, backs of bit of 50% ish of most of them still. So yeah, quite heavy. I did take some profit, and now I'm gonna aim for re-long on some of them if that's gonna be possible. If the levels are gonna be hit, right? Oh yeah, let's go and have a look on the whole metrics and index side. Just as always, like, I mean, I don't need to say that, right? I do not care what's the news saying or what kind of stuff is coming up or what's going on in the world. I don't care about that. For me, charts are charts, and that's why I'm sticking with. Nothing else gonna change my mind about it. Why? Just because, like, going by the wicks, for example, this is still fucking parabolic ways. It's still aiming to go higher. Yes, we did reach the 35, as I've been mentioning, that level over here. That's been already hit and it's gone. Now the only one is 37.7 on the table that's need to be hit. Now retracing all of the stuff, that's why I'm keeping it on the daily side. For me, a level that's the most important one not to lose is 21.17, and then you're going to start to get the lows of the support of 17. Did we do that? Nope. Did we retrace into that? Yes, we did. Can we go higher? Definitely. Can we go even lower into that level? Yeah, sure. But when it's going to be noticeable break of it, that's below the 17.9. That's my level. Keep an eye on it, and that's what I'm keeping for it. Just because the whole time when we've been grinding all the way into the highs of it, I've been moving this whole line every single low that it settles, or higher low technically. So for me, still that's the line in the sand for the market to reverse if we start to get back below 17 area. So yeah, we are not there yet. This still can go higher, or even if that's the case, just because we've been breaking the structure on the lower time frame, we could potentially do something like this and then start to reverse, right? That's all possible. But yeah, still it can go a little bit more higher if we're not gonna pull back deeper into it. But yeah, this is overall still uptrending. Now, moving on Dixie, and same thing what we've been mentioning as well on Sunday. We did break the whole high that we came from, so that's the major resistance that we are right now in. We have a pullback, nothing significant yet, just because it need to go below 99-ish area for it to consider it something to break. So far, this is still uptrending, right? So the highest resistance of daily stuff is start to get around 101. So we are not there yet, but we are starting to break the whole range that we are in for already, Jesus, almost a year. Dang. I just realized that that's almost a year that we are in. So yeah, that's something to consider, right? And think about it. So yeah, still possible to go higher up, right? If we start to fail again and go back lower below the 99-ish and break that structure, we could potentially see a reversal, a heavy stuff to the downside, right? But this is still heavily hold to go higher. Now, total tree, perfect as it gets. I said Sunday, as I can remember, I wasn't sure if we're gonna reach even 752, but right now we did it, hit it on perfectly, really to the T, kind of into the resistance. The whole daily flip over here, what we have, that's the biggest resistance right now, and look at that, perfect rejection from it, right? Like to the T. That's nothing like Nothing of manipulation on anything on the new side. This is just freaking resistance. Come back, you have a pullback. Where do you aim for? You get back at 700 and then you essentially you have a continuation till you're not gonna break your low, right? That's all about the structure technically. And so far we are holding at the top of the range. So yeah, we could hold on that one as well and grind a little more higher and do the one more. That's all possible. Regain that stuff and do a bigger stuff into the 800 billions. Then potentially we gonna see some Bitcoin around 80K, right? But so far, still aiming around 77 or a little bit 78-ish area. But so far, this is still good. This is nice, right? We're starting to regain the range. Not really the high time frame structure, but only the range so far. Great stuff. And yeah, gold is still in this freaking range together with silver. Silver is a little bit more below that. Even it broke the structure, so it can go even lower than gold. So right now, it's gonna all depends how gold's gonna be closing on the daily. You start to lose the 4.8-ish, we're gonna get back at the lows, right? That's still the whole RSI flip that we did, and we are still holding on it. So there is potential, quite a movement on it. That's still good for the market because if gold start to go a little bit lower and retrace, could potentially see some up movement, right? So yeah, great stuff. And silver, the same thing, right? It's still sideways-ish, not something big on the regain. We had that regain, but then yeah, you fail your low right now, so you need to hold on 76-ish. If not, you start to get back on 70, and that's your last leg of hold. Yeah, it's not much, and then you start to get into the low time frame stuff. So yeah, potentially it could go a little bit lower. Well, not something that I'm aiming right now to trade on. The bots are still doing fine on it, so I'm not really looking at it. Is there anything? Yeah, we just fill up the small CME gap that I didn't even bother to mark it up, and we are still not close even to this 80K one. Now dominance, not much change by the way. I was expecting a little bit more bigger move on it, but yeah, it is what it is. We still holding on the low, right? What we settled over here on 58, and we rejected from the high. Same thing, resistance, right? So let's see how we're going to be dealing with this whole day and how we're going to close on it. If we start to get back at the 58, that's still potentially my case support to hold, just because we've been already holding on it and we didn't fully test the lows on it, and on the low time frame we did have a break of this small structure over here, right? So yeah, still potentially it can go a little bit more higher up. That means the Bitcoin can be as a dominant asset instead of the alts. But overall, what we are looking, it's still go lower and even below 58 to get the potential whole movement of the market. If you're gonna get that, let's see. Not something that we can be sure right now about it. Weekly wise, yeah, still potentially much more to get at the highs, just because we had that rejection, right? That whole pullback even of this whole movement, and right now we are feeling the wick. So potentially it looks like it wants to uh, do that one more and then over the cliff kind of stuff, right? That's potentially on the weekly, but that's still far away to see it and to get it. Now, funny stuff, we are starting to get close to 77, right? As I haven't mentioned, let's start to get close. And I'm going to be pissed if that's going to be the front run and we're going to dump from it. But hey, it is what it is. You can get everything. Still a lot of volume below us, and we are holding on the whole daily point of control. So this is still potentially aiming to go higher up from the lows of 67 if we get that low. If not, I'm kind of aiming at 68.7-ish for the retrace to get the liquidity and then turn around and do one more. That's the move into this pocket, and then that might be the case just because the oscillators are already quite heavily overheated. And on the capital flow, yeah, capital flow index, we starting to get that divergent stuff as well. That's what I'm been talking as well with my spot backs. That's what I'm aiming. This is same thing, right? So if we're gonna do the one more, so potentially it's gonna be one more lower. We're gonna do one higher up, and that's gonna be the drive that we're gonna step off from the whole market and go a little bit lower. That means time for the bear market, right? So yeah, still good stuff. No, yeah, there is no positive cash flow on a wave master, and the oscillation trend is still below the whole course line. So yeah, we took out the 10 axis quite nicely actually. Sorry, 20 axis, right? The Yeah, 20 axis fully. So that's nice. Can we do it to the downside? Yes, definitely can. That will be quite nice to do it. We have one more step off and then fully send it lower. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm. Anyhow, moving on the capital flow index. Still had this whole minus 40% of the movement. Nasdaq and SPX quite lower. Retracing it. So yeah, if we're gonna see some rotation of money, so one of the those ones could move first heavily because Dixie and VIX are technically retracing, but they are not breaking anything yet on their own. And USDT starting to pick up the pace and go higher. So let's see. Let's see where they're gonna be the money flow of it. Daily wise, I've been looking at it, but we are on silver and PEX quite heavily below. So eventually, if we're gonna see some reverse sign on it, then that's potentially right now the case for it. Market-wise, Bitcoin total and ETH, we've been quite heavily into the 50, almost at the 60%. It's a retrace. We could have potential one more, and that's gonna be the flip of this whole movement, right? The capital flow. So yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting for the next couple of days. Definitely, I'm gonna pay attention much more to it, and if there's gonna be something interesting, I will let you guys know about it. Now, moving on to the biggest Ponzi meme coin. Yes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the 4 hour first. So yeah, perfect, perfect. From last week, we had this whole sell off a little bit from the resistance as well. That was the reversal sign, right? We did dip a little bit lower, perfect into the support technically as well at 70.5, and then we start to pick up the pace and go higher. So we did regain all of this, and we went into the 75. Now on the side retest to the fucking T, right? 4 hour. Look at that. Perfect. Even daily open up at on the side retest. Now we have a retrace into the lows that we settled on 14th of March ish. We did fail in daily and as well on the weekly. I hope that's not a surprise for you guys, just because we've been front running a retest of that one as well, and this whole candle will be close, tested it double ish the weekly, right? So the next move, yeah, that's a no-brainer that we could go a little bit more lower. Especially there was as well a little bit more liquidity below that on the bids as well. So yeah, we took out all those ones. We retest all of those dailies that we've been holding quite nicely. Right now, we could dip one more below and get into the 69-ish area, or even better at 68.4 to take out all of the high liquidity from it. Yes, that's still possible. And close anything above 71. So that means you're going to do a wick, close, and do the one more, right? So you retest all of that stuff, and what's left is only the support, the prior support that we are holding, right? That's still possible. Or we're going to go fully into the lows of 67. Because I have, to be honest with you, that's the aim that I'm kind of aiming for my reload of the longs quite heavily as well for that one more. If we start to break this low, I'm not certain if all of this, what we settled here, or it's going to be even holding at, because that support is weak over here. Not much actually for us. There is this one that's been tested, and this has been tested as well. So all of this to the downside below 66-ish, it's done. Right? We can wick into that one, but then close anything above the March. That's the deal. Right? If you start to close anything again about below March, then that's done. Because what you're going to have then, you have that first reversal sign over here, fully reverse, almost fully reverse of that candle. And now you fill this up, and we could do another one. If you start to close now the weekly below that March, that's done. That's hold on. This been already the liquidity grab and technically low time frame on the side retest of the stuff. We didn't even come close to February. Right? Yeah. That's gonna be bye-bye situation. And see you in the bear market stuff. So far, we're still aiming to get close at 77-ish area. Why? Because that's the February level that's been untested, and I would like to test it now before we're gonna get into the bear market, then after that. Because how long are we gonna stay below that? How quickly we're gonna go lower into the bear market stuff. So yeah, that's kind of the aim that I'm looking for. That one test of that whole section over here, and then we can say it to. We'll see you in a couple years. So far, still good. Potentially, this is a quite good area for a scalp long. If someone is aiming for it, I'm not really in the place for scalping right now. I'm much more waiting for the bigger stuff. If we get there, I have my orders placed. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna aim for it. If not, the long that I'm having, even from 65-ish, and the one from 63-ish still continues higher into the 70. If that's gonna be the case, right? So yeah, potentially, yeah, we could dip or wick this out. Is there anything? Oh yeah, see, we are nicely on the support block, and we are getting into the band. So, really, really nice and good area to be in. Daily wise, yeah, daily wise still March level. That's level to aim for and to hold. That's your last price support. If you lose that, then it's goodbye. Why? Because there's nothing to the left. Everything been already tested, and then we're gonna find our setup in 59, and we're gonna do something like this, right? And then reverse the whole stuff what we've been doing here. This. That's quite understandable, I guess, right, for people. Weekly, I've been covering that already. Monthly, yeah, not much change. How much where we are actually? Almost. Okay. So technically 2 weeks from now for a monthly close. Oh, not much change yet. But yeah, we are starting to get below the weekly. It's gonna be interesting if before the weekly open we're gonna reverse all of this shenanigans and start to close above it. Then yeah, that's the free way to go higher up. If we start to stay below the weekly and we're gonna close as well below it, then potentially we're gonna do a deeper retracement. So yeah, and as well on the daily ones, we start to get the reversal sign. That's one thing to go by, right? But there is still more to 12 hours. Sometimes I really like to look at it. So there's trend change. Nice. So potentially we could go a little bit lower when we're gonna have the negative cash flow reversal. But yeah, so far so good. And as well, something to keep an eye on it. And if you look at it on the perspective of structure wise, it all said how quickly, for example, the oscillator on 4 hours start to cool off. All right, so over here on the 1 hour, oh shit, let's raise that. On 1 hour, for example, with like 4 hours, we are already fully bottomed, right? There's nothing to say that we're gonna reverse. There is something like, okay, so 1 hour start to reverse. That means the low time frame start to get below as well, start to form some structure. Now we are waiting for 4 hour. If For example, the next couple candles, 4 hours, going to be closing above this structure. That said, we start to turn around and we're going to see some divergent popping in. That's your sign to go. But yeah, looks good. Looks nice. Nice retracement. Perfect to the T. Like this is just structure, right? Like perfect swing failure, right? Underside retest, coming back into the support. You hold that, regain, you go higher. Done, right? Fail this. You start to get below 69 for one stop, but that's not gonna hold you. Textbook, right? But I'm not aiming that this gonna hold you just because it's been technically tested on a low time frame. High time frame, maybe not. There is still liquidity. So if we break that, then you aim for 67. Done. Easy as that. But yeah, this is still nice, to be honest with you. Just wait for, like, if you want some confluence or confirmation, just wait for the next 4-hour close or maybe the daily. Because if the daily start to close above 71.3 or even 71.9, so this area, perfect. There you start to form support over here. You can wick one more time and then go. Easy. Easy as that. I like that. I really like that. Perfect structure. Yeah, one more. Would be nice, right? Just want to have a look at the bands, how we are dealing with it. Grinding into that band as well, taking out the 20 axis and quick reverse. Right now we are taking on 4-hour, taking away the 20 axis, not fully, but still some left, right? We can wick one more and then you're just gonna stick between those, between that. You're gonna ping pong, right? Till you're gonna do the bigger stuff. Easy as that. Like if you want like easy trades, then you short anything from here and you long anything from here. Like extra confluence. Done. On 4-hour, right? And you can backtest that, like how long and for how many times it's been hit. Like outliers, right? The biggest stuff, go deeper. But then most of them, if you don't even reach the core line, then there is like confluence to go lower constantly. I've been talking about that for so many times. Like this as well, to the T, 2020, done. Just ping pong game, nothing else. You close your eyes and you get blindly about the noise and everything around it. You just blindly long and short those levels. Easy with 2% stop loss. Yeah, decent leverage. If you are lazy, you can do that. This is it. Yeah, exactly. Like that's true as well, right? Yeah, that's exactly how they think about the whole trading. It's not that they trade, but how they think about it, right? So eventually, like, where is the potentially money to grab? This whole block. This is the money to grab. What we're gonna do? We're gonna ping pong in between that, and like that's the whole thing. You go from one side to another side. So you long this, but then you sell this. You do vice versa, right? And this is like overall, you do 15% movement in between. That's quite a lot for Bitcoin. Not gonna that you're gonna do it in one go, but overall, let's say there you have it, the low to the high, from the low to the high, right? So yeah, that's it as well. Like most likely, when you take out most of the liquidity, what do you get? You start to get oversold or overbought, right? That's a reversal sign. And then you have the outliers, of course, right? Those kind of stuff. But that's as well like no brainer that it's not gonna be one go. It's always a preparation to that. Same thing. Let me erase that. Same thing was here. What did we do? 20 axis, grab the 150 axis, fourth round, close, swipe, reject, swipe, reject, swipe. Right? Easy as that. Even better, here, people arguing with me that you couldn't trade this. Like, fuck yeah, you can, because I have approval of it. I've been shorting the shit out of it from here. Why? High, failure, rejection, 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 done. So, so yeah, it's a bit of cheat code. Can say it like that. Anyhow, let's move on to the different side of the Ponzi schemes. Hype. I've been on fire, and it reached the first level, my point of interest level, the 42.9-ish. That's the high of here. If we start to regain anything above this, what did I do? Above this stuff over here, you start to get higher up into the underside retest of this whole block. Now, this is not going to be easy to take care of it. Same thing what we did over here. Technically, if you look at it, you zoom out, this whole stuff that we've been doing here, right? A little bit more, this is quite extended. This whole uptrend, it's perfect price action technically. It didn't even reach the whole freaking low, but quite heavily pushed. Same thing what we did over here into the resistance, right? This is all technically the same, but extended. Like we always like to say, market tends to rhyme, right? So yeah, what we did over here, basically the same thing, but this is major extended. So yeah, that was the level that I'm aiming for, was aiming for. So that 42-ish, that's the first hit. So regaining that stuff, technically gonna bring you higher up into this resistance. That resistance is quite heavily barred or protected. Same thing what we did over here. Regaining that, it's gonna settle high time frame change. So this failure of not regaining the high, right, after settling this low, coming back and filling the wick, now you regain that stuff, potentially aiming for rejection again, coming back at the support. And what you're doing is this. Well, that's okay. No. So I think that's quite clear, right? That what's going on over here. But yeah, that's kind of what, in my opinion, hype start to form, go higher up. And it might continue, right? We don't know how high it's going to be because this is all what we have. But so far, if we can kind of like speculate about it and do the TA on it, this is technically still high time frame uptrending, right? Even if we reject this, I'm saying coming into the support, which settled, and doing that, this is it. Still kind of the same-ish structure. So yeah, great stuff. Great freaking stuff. And you don't even imagine how happy I am that I took those spot trades from here. I'm not really in the long as in leverage trade on it, unfortunately, but attempts to skip my orders and fucking front run them or whatsoever and do the whole big moves middle in the night. So I'm okay with it. I'm happy with the spot backs on it. So all good on that side. But so far, yeah, this is the level that technically you want to regain or close anything above it daily wise. Pull back and are golden. Even like not right now. Like if you're gonna pulling back right now, still same shit. Why? Because the only thing what you need to care about it is so far. If you're gonna do this continuously, right? That's kind of dangerous because they can wipe you quite hard, but they tempt and like to do it. or you start to fail slowly, get back at the support and start to do some bigger stuff, right? Yeah, great stuff. This is awesome. Love it. All the way. It didn't freaking fail anything. So yeah, now moving on to injective. Great. Uh, Rejection from the resistance. Great stuff. We didn't settle a new high on it. We kind of don't need to it. That's fine that we reject from it just because we still did regain all of this. That's the first important stuff for me. We don't need to deal with this right now because any pullback here into the support of $3, that's still fine if we're going to hold it, or we're going to get back at 2.9-ish and skip this. If that's going to be the case, that's going to be a perfect run up for continuation, right? We could wick lower into this case, but technically I would not like because I'm kind of like fading out almost when injectives start to get below 2.8-ish area. Same thing what we did over here with this whole perfect structure, and we did fail it. So they tend to run the lows if that's going to be the case. Good for the spot backs, but I would like to keep my long positions on leverage as well intact. Let's see how that's gonna be the case. But so far, I think yeah, there was that overlapping one over here, so that's still good and perfect for it. Is there anything on liquidity wise? See, 20x's again, right? So most of them been already taken out. How about the levels? Yeah, there is a pocket. So that's tempting. That's tempting to take out. But anyhow, still, like take that out and freaking leave this support intact. That's gonna be great run up. So then the next step, you need to regain the 3.36. Yeah, and then of course you're gonna aim for the highs of $4. So yeah, Injective have some work to do by holding stuff most likely. But yeah, still good. I like the failure of this resistance. Yeah, especially just because we did regain even this high. Right? We don't need to deal with that, but we did regain the prior high that took us lower. So yeah. Now, vice versa of that one, it's freaking AVEX. That's a beauty of itself. And it still outperforms the rest of the alts by perfect price action, to be honest with you. This is quite nice and really good up movement of a range. And literally taking the 150 axis and just reverse. And we did, I noticed this, we did regain this whole structure. What's really important to me, any potential to higher up on a freaking daily. That close was magnificent. I don't care if we're gonna retrace all the way even to 9.3 or deeper into the 8 one. Because if we get there, boy, I'm gonna long the shit out of it. So that's my freaky take of AVEX for now. But yeah, this is good. This is great. This is awesome. But yeah, you are barely holding on the support, but I don't care about that so much. If we lose that, we still potentially can bounce from lower up. So awesome. I love it. I really, really like it. Solana, same thing. Solana did some good stuff finally. Right? We did regain all this range. On the side retesting of this high, I don't care. This is still uptrending. By holding literally on 88-ish hip of this, right? If we start to hold that and we're gonna rip higher up, then we start to get at $101. That's gonna be awesome for it, right? Potentially, yes, we could lower up for to grab all this liquidity. 86 will be perfect place to hold it, but I will not mind if we start to reverse and get higher up on it. This is awesome. Now, talking about the ballistic moves, render, that shit is on fire. Like, I didn't bother to look at it for ages, maybe a year, and now it's really, really, really looking juicy. Not only because we had this freaking ballistic move from New Year, and we retest the low. Yes, we did run the lows and we did wick into that, but we didn't close it below, right? The close, even on the daily one, it's higher than the previous structure. We just got some liquidity a bit deeper, right? That's fair enough. And now we did the same thing, a bit smaller, but same thing. We run the highs. We've been, like I've been mentioning that for freaking weeks, I guess. This was a perfect squeeze, right? If you didn't get on this whole price action, then I'm sorry. This was quite obvious. And now we just rip, right? We ripped through all of this stuff and what we've been building up. We did regain even daily wise, like through this stuff. We didn't got into the high of that, but I don't care as much as we did rip through all of the shenanigans what we've been doing here. Now, the only thing what we can do, fully retrace it. Even I will be happy if it's gonna get back at 1.5 and then bounce from it. We got most of the liquidity, leave the rest, continue. But looking at the 4 hour, like the oscillator is already so good looking in my perspective, because we start to get out of the positive cash flow and we start to get almost into the negative. That said, we're starting to build up any structure to go higher up as well. Yes, we did lose the low on that one, so potentially we could get at the highs, right, and then start to do a bigger move into, or maybe even sideways on it. Who knows? Render, it's a little bit more unpredictable in that kind of perspective because it can rip in one go and regain everything. But so far, I'm not even worried about it. So yeah, all freaking good. Love it. Really, really love it. Talking about shenanigans, not sure if you saw this. So yeah, run the highs, regain the freaking whole range, and then drop it. Drop it like it's hot. So let's see if we're gonna deal with all of this stuff. Get back at 0.6. Potentially, that might be a bigger bounce, but both ways you start to break structure. So not sure if this is something that should be a proper tradable token or something, but no, I don't think that people even try to get into that stuff because that's been ripping hard both ways and farming shitloads of liquidity and stop losses. Apparently, where is Eve? Potentially good. Yes. Ooh. Okay. For a second I was scared for Eve. I'm gonna meme about it again, but yeah, it did regain, so that's good. Nice and really great daily close. So let's see how deep we're gonna get. To be honest with you, I would like to see it around 2K. Right, get back at the middle of the range, retest all of that stuff, and then just grind it up. So far, but this still potentially can rip and get a little bit more of the liquidity if that's gonna be the case. But yeah, next couple 4 hours, candle's gonna tell you the truth of the trend. Oh, and look at that. Like, oh, I've been talking about Pur as well for so while. This whole range will be dealt with it. Oh boy. That rip. That's awesome. Already 50%. Man, I just fucking hell, that's gonna take ages. So yeah. Spotback is quite happy about that one as well. Yeah, I guess that's all from me yapping around. How are you guys feeling about it? Let me have a look at the chat. William, Oh, on hype. Where did you got? From where are you on hype? Is it from here? Or is it from this? Wait, that's nice if you got it. Yeah, injective as well. Yep. I agree with you, Leslie. Yeah, that could be nice. And as well, like guys, if you're looking for a scalp, right? If you're really tempting to scalp anything, yeah, that could be deep. Like even this setup, like 1.5 already, right? Nice round to oh, okay, never mind. But yeah, that's definitely if you want to real riskier, then stop loss below 2.9 for golden. For golden. AVAX, same thing. Oh, AVAX. Yeah, no. Yeah, AVAX, same thing. There you have it. Bueno. Bueno. Yeah, all the way down. Yeah, I'm pushing this shitcoin all the way down till it's gonna be here somewhere. Where it belongs to be. Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. How's this doing, by the way? Like, even this fucking shenanigans and shitcoin and whatever it is, attempts to play by the rules. Oh shit, that's a neat one. That's a perfect one. Look at that. You're failing the lows, right? You broke the structure on freaking daily. This is your resistance. What do? You wick above that, but where do you close? Below the fucking resistance. Where do you go? Gone. Like, yeah, I can show you like why I don't care about the wicks. I think that's quite clear. Don't need to add to that one, right? So yeah, there we have it. We're gonna fucking fill this wick for a while. Oh, that would be epic if that's gonna be the case. Ooh. Oh yeah, nice, perfect. Fucking go down, down, down. What is do we? Wait, what? I retest again. Prior. Hmm, same thing. Still holding on the support. You still could go back at least 0.92. Oh, and guys, even that, like I didn't mention that. Is he still here? No, still is not here. But even that, like most of those coins, there we have it. Right, that's one, two, three, four. Yeah, done. Hype. Yeah, that's still up, up, up. Technically, hype. Fuck you. Look at that. I should. Nope. Perfect. Perfect. But no, I'm not really looking at shorting that. Nope. I'm not gonna step in front of it. Uh, Alt F. Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm like quite far away from my desk, only with my hand on the mouse and drinking coffee. So just in chill mode. But there is okay, still nice. Anything else, guys? You want to look at? Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, like that. Exactly like that. That's me right now. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly how I look like right now. Ooh. Dang, boys. 3 more weeks. April the 6th. If that's not gonna blast on this day, more week. Set you alerts, guys. Set you alerts. Orca. Oh, Netflix. Jesus. Let's go. It's not much to cover it, to be honest with you. I'm still waiting. Yeah, see, my orders didn't get hit. Netflix. Yeah, unfortunately, fucking hell, I need to get used to it, and I will be technically going to long this if and only if we will retrace, fill this whole fucking gap over here, and get back at least at 82. Then I will long it. But so far, yeah, technically what we are doing is breaking structure. Nice straight line, like always, right? But yeah, we are breaking structure. So on the side retest we had, this is like, guys, I can tell, like, I can stretch it, right? So many people will tell you, like, no, there is no possible for manipulation on anything. Like, they literally build a home here. Like, this is technically fucking like they play around with this chart. Like, tell me this is not manipulated at all. Like, this is so fucking perfect. Yeah, look at that shit. Like, push, pipe, push, pipe, pipe. Oh, they don't manipulate. We can't. We don't. It's not allowed. Yeah, fuck my. Sure, Sherlock. What I want to say. Yeah, still. Point of interest, 82 area, and then hopefully, if we get there, then that's the area that I'm gonna load up quite heavily on it, and see if we're gonna get back at least at underside retest of 115, and then see how we're gonna be dealing with it, because like potentially, like, yeah, this can rip, right? But if they're gonna play nicely, then eventually this gonna be a little bit the case for it to break it out and do another one, right? Same thing ish what we've been doing here. We did. So this is actually a quite similar price action, right? High, low, range, failure. You rip it. So we are technically somewhere over here. Rip it, sideways, back, and then do it again. Right? So where are we now? Right? High, failure, range, failure. High, failure, range, failure. Done. Yeah. All the same, but this is gonna take a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two to retrace fully, or even if not, gonna do one more and then we're gonna fail from it. You know how they like to do the right thing on the stocks, right? And a proper price action. But so far, all Gucci. Waiting, patiently waiting. There was one more thing that I want to cover it, but I'm you now if you complete it, yeah. Yeah, me too. If you complete it now. I covered everything from shitcoins to fucking Netflix even. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now I know what I wanna say. Um yeah. So yeah, apparently this week we're gonna have apparently yeah, if everything's gonna be right, we're gonna have some forex. For now, it's gonna be only the euro. Maybe there's gonna be one more. Let's see, but that's gonna be for the next couple weeks. Something, but so far, yeah, we're gonna introduce euro for Botmaster to trade from. Note it's need to be a little bit more on high leverage, just because of the moves as well and the way how it freaking slow grind move behaves. But it's quite nice. It's win rate 80%, like surprisingly fucking high. So yeah, really good. Really nice. Something for sideways and like even fucking ranges. It takes out perfectly. Right? Like this is quite freaking nice. Interesting. So yeah, that's the new toy to play around. That's the new toy to play around with. I have more, but I'm not gonna add them right now. And yeah, let me know, guys, if how your bots are doing, because mine are quite well. To be honest with you. Oh, and this is well something that I showed to one of my students. So if you guys like as well don't like or don't know any ways of mm, keeping a spreadsheet or monitoring everything, do it on TradingView, right? Like for example over here, version 8. That was a version 8. This is version 9 that I'm running, right? And then use your tools or even this to measure everything, how it went, to check this went well, this went well, this was break even, went well, this one is good. Took already, I think, one TP. So something like that, right? Here as well, silver. Right? Keep a track of it. If you want to have everything in one place, then there it is. Why I'm doing this? Because you're gonna update your settings eventually, right? So while you're updating your settings, this will change the history. So you're not gonna know what's happened there. Now I can go back and change all of the settings that I'm having here into this indicator. I write it down on the object tree, but then I can see this was good to trade. This was oh sorry, this was shit. This was good. This was shit. One here was shit. One here was shit, and then it start to get better, right? After the new update over here. Same thing here, Apple. That one is really, really nice. It took already two big trades. So yeah, from example, that's 4-ish%. And this was as well almost 2%. Still is in a trade. So yeah, great stuff. Same thing, right? You know exactly when you switch from the versions of it. Jupiter, same thing, right? Here, all nice and Gucci. Some losses over here, but I don't mind. Apparently, yeah. Pro, injective, right? Like this kind of stuff. You just click through them and you know exactly where you are on, right? What you're doing, which settings you are on. You need to click through Excel or whatsoever, or do it like that maybe as well, like with the settings, which one you're running from this moment. You know exactly what's happened here. Perfect, right? Be careful not to click here. Oh, something like to keep a track, to have a history on it, if you like, if you want a tip. But not everyone does that, I guess. Well, it's another way of keeping track. You bought if you don't like spreadsheets or whatsoever. possible. Yeah, that Euro USD looks really good. Yeah, and special on Hyperliquid as well. Like that's a good one to be able to trade it. But yeah, it's really really nice one. High profit factor and the moves like yeah, it's steady, slow, but I mean, come on, crypto goes sideways. Here is another way to take profits, right? Like Apple as well, same thing. Look at that, like 60% win rate, profit factor 3.2, higher on our sim. Yeah, perfect. That's why I say like if like you can have, for example, three, let's say two meme coins, one Bitcoin bot, then two stocks, one forex, and you are set. You are spread. No matter what's happened with the market, you are covered, right? And to be honest with you, I would not bother with the meme coins ones. It's like the cake one, for example, that are the fucking sketchy moves as well lately. Ugh, I'm so borderline, like not even looking at meme coins. Like this is the only list what I'm looking like those five, right? The rest, like I seriously don't. I couldn't care less. But yeah. But yeah. Anyhow, any questions? Or I'm gonna bounce, 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 bounce. So, I will stop the stream for MDX. Before I forget about it. And yeah, guys, I hope it was clear. It was quite a small update, nothing special. Yeah, we have a pullback, but nothing major. We don't break stuff. We don't kill the market yet. That's gonna happen soon, but not yet. And yeah, small update from Sunday. I think we have some one or something speaking about today. I fucking don't care about anything like even rate cuts or news or even that freaking orange guy was gonna be talking. I hear only like fucking on the Discord or on the X or even in my friends that they talk about it. But so far, myself, I do not care at all. Like seriously, I couldn't care less. And yeah, stick with your plan, I guess, and strategy. That's the best. Cut off the noise. But yeah, anyhow, I will see you Sunday. It's gonna be quite interesting week, that's for sure. Close of the week. So let's see if we're gonna close above the previous week, weekly open. It's gonna be interesting. That's gonna determine as well the trend and the movement for the next week. That's for sure. So yeah, and still February, right? That's the maximum that I'm aiming for the market to go right now. 78.8. That's gonna be one more leg, and if we're gonna have that, we're still gonna be divergent. That's gonna be the third one, and that could be the case of bigger move to the downside. So yeah, good stuff. Happy days, and see you on the flip side. Bye bye.